resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. How are you, buckaroo?
I'm doing good, man. So, Katie, Don Cooper, and I went to HauntCon and Halloween Party Expo yesterday. Yeah. So it's a trade show that's been showing up in New Orleans for, I think, the past 5 years.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And we got to go out there and meet some of the manufacturers and stuff. Because it's not open to the general public.
It's a trade show. Yeah.
Right. And, yeah, we talked to some folks. I got a pair of retractable vampire fangs.
What?
Yeah. They're like these little mechanical fangs. Like it's from scarecrowvampirefangs.com is the guy, and we interviewed him.
Are you 12?
What, dude? It was fun. It like I shared it out to the page and everything. And
well, did they have the ladies' costumes where all the girls came out and started dancing around in their trampy lawyer outfits? That was awesome.
Leg Avenue was there. Yes.
Best
and
show ever.
Yeah, about once an hour, all the models who are with them will come out onto the show floor, dance, and then entice everybody to go into the booth. And
that is the best. That's. Hey, it sells.
Yeah, and we saw Megan Davis, of course, a good friend of ours who was third place in the amateur category of the World Body Painting Competition, and she was out there plying her trade with the Mayron folks. So that was super cool. And, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We went to the party briefly last night.
And where can they find the pictures?
Oh, of course, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. All the live videos there. Don Cooper has the photographs, and he's working on them now.
There we go. All right, well, let's lay out the show for everybody real quick. We'll kick it all off with top nerd news, followed by more top nerd news. And then we got our boy Skungy with his pick of the week. Is that right? Do we have Skungy or do we fire him again?
No, we have him.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, yeah.
And then we'll wrap it all up with This Week in Geek History. But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All righty, what's topping us off, man?
All right, well, I'm not too sure where you want to start off today.
You're claiming the Cyberpunk story is a big deal. I don't really give a rat's patootie.
Well, I mean, weren't you a fan of the Cyberpunk RPG back in the day?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I played a little bit of it, but I mean, that the game looked sort of cool, but just
I mean, it's got Keanu Reeves in it, man. I mean, anything with Keanu Reeves is super cool.
Oh, like Johnny Mnemonic? Yeah, that was super cool.
Oh, come on.
See, I got you already. Your argument is null and void now, sir.
The talking dolphin made the whole thing, all right?
No, Ice-T made the whole thing. Or was that Tank Girl? I can't remember.
Was he in both?
I think he might have been in both.
I think he's in both, yeah. So Cyberpunk 2077 from the guy, I can't even talk tonight.
CJG, I don't know, I'm making
CD
stuff up.
Projekt Red.
Okay.
Has been delayed.
Oh,
Originally supposed to be released on April 16th. It is now going to be released on September 17th, with multiplayer likely getting pushed to 2021.
Yeah, get out of here, multiplayer. Nobody wants you anyway.
Well, but what I find this really interesting, because in the wake of all the controversy with the crunch culture of developers, them coming out and saying, hey, look, we need more polish on this, and we're going to go push this date back. And so it clearly, to me, shows that they care about their developers. And they what?
I'm sorry. You're saying that so seriously, like you believe it. That's great.
I want to hope. You know?
No, you still have hope, too. It's adorable.
Oh,
it's adorable.
Dave. But seriously, I mean, the developers in the game industry.
There's a deeper reason than that, Brian. I understand you're a pie in the sky and you want to think that people are nice, but no way, dude. There's some sort of monetary reason why they're pushing this back, or they don't have the ability to roll it out yet. But, dude, if they had the ability, which they still do, to make these guys and gals, work their fingers to the bone, they would do it. So there's another reason. It ain't because of their, unending reserve of kindness.
Well, they said, let's see.
They said,
we try to limit crunch as much as possible, but it is the final stage. We try to be reasonable in this regard, but yes, unfortunately, there is some crunch. So,
dun, dun, dun.
But it's bug fixing and polishing is what they're doing right now. The game is playable at this point.
So, but we're not getting it for another 2 years, or we're getting the game, but
no, in
sans
September.
Multiplayer.
September 17th. They were getting it this year.
Oh, okay.
It's just been pushed back from April.
Multiplayer is not till 2022.
2021.
All right.
Yes.
Whatever. These articles are wrong then.
Oh,
my sheet says 2022.
Uh-huh. Dave, you're ridiculous.
I'm just reading what's on the paper.
All right, that's fine. So, let's
what do you want to do? You want to do Netflix? It seems like you're itching for this one.
No. Let's go cute, Dave.
Why? When do we want to go cute?
All right, we'll go with that one.
I'm already playing the music.
I hear you. So,
is this the theme song for the new show?
It would be awesome if it was. Apparently, Netflix has a new show called Space Force. Of course, it's a parody of the much reported Space Force, our new sixth branch of the U.S. military.
And they have like woodland camouflage for their uniforms?
Well, no. So the woodland camouflage is what was released for the actual U.S. military, and people have been making fun of it.
Trees in space.
Pretty much. And of course, the uniforms that were released for the television show are little like craters of like the moon.
The moon, yeah, it's like the lunar surface.
Right.
So if you lay down, no one will see you.
Right, pretty much.
You have to be on the moon. So you think they'd be all like jet black with I don't know, sequins maybe, because that way if you're floating in space, you'd look like stars. The sequins. See,
that's true.
See, man, I should be designing these uniforms for them because they'd be fabulous.
I'm suddenly thinking of like James Bond Moonraker or something like that.
That would be too cool, though.
Yeah,
that would make sense and stuff. So.
But this is amusing that the show essentially be a workplace comedy in the vein of The Office.
Yeah, but isn't Steve Carell in it?
Yes.
So how did this go under our radar? How did we just find out about this? Because this is brilliant.
It is. It is absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's so much geek news, Dave.
Well, I mean, I think what I liked the most about this was that the comedy is, in essence, them trying to figure out what Space Force is supposed to do, which is oddly similar to what the new, the government is trying to do with their Space Force. Like, what's our job again? Go in space and protect it.
Dave, don't you realize that this is tacit proof that aliens are real and they're preparing to defend Earth from an oncoming alien menace?
No, because they're not rapidly building up arms and spaceships. They're just making a bunch of people in uniform to be like, we're the Space Force, here we are.
Well, our long-range, radar and satellites and all this apparently has detected an alien armada.
You're a government apologist is what you're doing right now. They're just finding ways to waste money on fancy uniforms.
All right.
So when is this show supposed to come out? Like they haven't started filming yet, or I think
there is no release date yet. The first season is going to be 10 episodes,
but we don't know when. Maybe they're waiting for the actual Space Force to do something so they can lampoon it.
Maybe that's possible. I think that the jokes just write themselves at this point. They don't really need to wait for anything.
They should, though. If they knew it was good for them, they'd wait. Because there might even be gremlins in space. We don't know.
Geez.
Gremlins on like the shuttle, on the space station. Who knows? Gremlins are everywhere. Even on airplanes that William Shatner's in.
So apparently you want to talk about Gremlins, the secrets of is it Mogwai?
I refer you to my earlier statement. I'm playing the music.
Yes.
Mogwai.
So, yeah, there's an animated prequel series. It's coming to HBO Max in 2021. I don't really know.
This is awesome. Shut your dirty pie hole. This is going to be awesome. You want something new, Brian? You're getting something new.
It's not new.
It is new. It's a prequel, and it goes back to the weird, creepy guy with the dead eye who sold this illegal animal to this crazy inventor who instituted mass hysteria and murder on a scale unbefore seen in Springfield. And then you're going back in time, though. We're going to see how the little crazy guy found a Mogwai and how there's some like evil industrialist. I like how they put that in the article. An evil industrialist with an army of gremlins, like the bad ones, the green ones that flash you and then, take over movie theaters. Mass hysteria.
No, I mean, I suppose this could be interesting. Set in 1920s Shanghai.
There you go.
Follow a teenage street thief named Elle, Sam, and Gizmo. Going to venture through the Chinese countryside and encounter colorful monsters and spirits of Chinese folklore.
See, and then you be careful. You might learn something.
Yeah, well, that's true.
See, it's something new, Brian. Have you heard of this before? No.
Well,
it's better than the new batch Gremlins 2. Like the gremlin with lipstick and a dress.
Yes, that's true.
What was the dude's name? He was on Voyager. Good Lord, he's kind of a jerk.
On Voyager?
Yeah, the doctor.
Oh.
He's a jerk. Whatever. Who cares? I don't care. But yeah, he had that picture on his table at whatever con we were at.
Oh, okay.
So, all right.
Do you want to talk about the box office real fast? Of course, Bad Boys for Life has grossed, what is it?
Wait, they're actually making money?
Yeah.
People going to see that?
Yes, people are going to see it. Between 66 and 68 million over the 4-day weekend is what it's projected. I mean, it's not like it's this CGI powerhouse like Rise of Skywalker or something. Although Rise of Skywalker has slipped.
No.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so. Did it follow the Bad Boys?
It did. 1917 is still in the list. But,
I saw an article earlier today that Jumanji, The Next Level, supplanted the final Star Wars movie with 8 million, and Star Wars got 6 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and Doolittle's doing bad.
Doolittle is a flaming dumpster fire.
Right.
They should have never. They even put in post-credit trailers for Doolittle as if somebody really was gonna sit through that whole movie, much less sit through the credits to see if they're gonna do a sequel. When everybody knew as soon as the first trailer dropped, this is just a one and done.
But it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but without any armor on and without cool little quips. And he looks like he's high all the time in this movie.
Does he?
Not like Sherlock Holmes where he was like that cool, like, I'm being really, I'm pondering every move I can make. He just looks like he's like, yeah, I ate way too much birdseed.
Well, if he looked like he was high in Sherlock Holmes, that would be accurate to the source material because Sherlock Holmes was high all the time.
Well, that's why he was so smart. Drugs are good, okay?
Oh,
wait, I'm bad. Right. They're bad. Sorry.
No, actually, that really freaked me out the first time I got challenged about the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies.
Right.
I was arguing with a friend of mine who was like, these are terrible and I'm not going to see them. And I'm like, I think they're really good. And so I went back and reread the source material for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and was surprised at how pretty spot on it was. And then got to the end of the first book. It was A Study in Scarlet. And Sherlock Holmes is totally freaking shooting up heroin. And it was like, whoa, like I don't remember this. You know?
Well, he had to go to those opium dens and get, he was doing undercover field research in the opium dens. So,
right.
It was contact high only. He didn't inhale.
Oh. He set a precedent for Bill Clinton.
He did.
No, jeez. All right.
We need an I Got a Break.
Do we? All right, cool.
Already.
Well, after the break, we'll have more Top Nerd News. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Q's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Hello, this is Chris Walken. If you've got a hankering for more cowbell, you can get it on The Week in Geek. Come on.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D-Squared with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian. So we last left off with our lovely little Gremlins chums. So
Yeah.
what are we picking back up with?
I want to go cute now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't want to let me talk about it earlier, but so of course, Build-A-Bear has announced that they're going to start selling a Baby Yoda plush that you can get. What?
Whatever. Continue.
What? I mean,
Continue.
what's wrong with a Baby Yoda plush from?
Clearly, you don't have kids, you piece of sassafrassa. No. I just stop talking. I'm going to go delete this from the podcast. Hold on, let me dump you real quick.
What?
Stop telling people about Baby Yoda. Stop it.
What?
There's a reason. There's a reason we don't want toys out there. Because everybody will make you buy them. All these stupid kids will make me buy them. No. Stop talking.
You can't stop the flood of memes around Baby Yoda.
You don't have to buy memes, Brian.
Well, they did announce it earlier this week that Build-A-Bear now has the plush. And, of course, you can get it from Funko Pops as well. And I found it interesting that I saw a note that Jon Favreau took some of the blame.
So why did it take so long for them to try to steal the money out of our pockets?
What
took so long for this?
Well, you've in any sort of manufacturing, you have to ramp things up, and if they would have started too soon and started releasing things, then the public would have seen it before they would have got to see The Mandalorian. So it's an issue of timing.
I saw the damn thing before I even seen one episode of The Mandalorian.
Right, but The Mandalorian had already come out at that point.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the point.
Lego
right?
screws this stuff up all the time.
They do, and a lot of action figure companies do as well. But the point is that's sort of the sweet period that they want to try to hit. Regardless, as soon as The Mandalorian started to appear, entrepreneurial individuals trying to capitalize on this stuff, and usually this happens on like sites like Etsy, right? And of course, Etsy
That's where I get my Viridian tea.
Right. And that's a great place for it. However, it's not a great place for copyright infringing items like
it is.
Baby Yoda. So
what if it's a crocheted Baby Yoda?
It doesn't matter.
There's no tag on it that says Baby Yoda from the Disney show, The Mandalorian.
Well, the point being is that Disney is pulling down the takedown ban hammer to Etsy, and they're removing thousands of listings of Baby Yoda merchandise that's been available. And I think that part of the thing is the naming, right? If you put up a little crocheted item and name it Baby Yoda, then that's going to be an easy target for Disney to say, stop that.
Yeah, but no, Baby Yoda's a fan-made name because we don't know what that 50-year-old thing is. What's its name? Johann? I don't know.
Right, but Disney's not stupid either, and they understand what people are calling it, so it's easy for them to search on that type of
They're
stuff.
just mad that they missed a trick and that they weren't able to pirate every last penny out of my wallet.
Well, but eventually Disney is going to own the planet. This is part of their plan.
No, fight the power. Come on, Etsy, keep it up.
So,
I mean, what are they going to do about when China gets in the game? We're going to get flooded with all these little Baby Yodas from China.
So it's hard to stop.
I'm surprised they're not here yet.
Right. So officially, the name, of course, is not Baby Yoda, but it's the child.
Yeah, that's lame. That's lame. Baby Yoda.
So it's easy for them to search on those sort of terms and get rid of that stuff. Now, there are people who still have listings up. You can find them on Etsy, but you have to look up like Alien Baby or things like that.
Just misspell Yoda?
Well, possibly. But those folks who do
Baby Yo-Yo
run those sort of spots are finding that the traffic has definitely died down. It's harder for folks to find them.
See, trying to screw the capitalistic ways. Stupid Disney.
Oh, jeez. So it seems like your blood pressure has been up most of the show, Dave.
It has. Who knew?
Yes.
I had noticed. Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, I say that because I want to drive it up further.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. I'm excited. Let me know.
So NBC Universal has announced the launch of Peacock, yet another streaming service for end users to see Universal content. How you feeling about this?
I'm just, Peacock. I can just see all these, execs just strutting around like a bunch of peacocks. Yeah, we got our own streaming platform.
Well, now,
what does NBC have? Wow me, man. Wow me with what great content they have that makes me want to give them even $1.
Well, they have Saturday Night Live.
that ain't been good since like the 80s.
All right. Well, I mean, it's generational.
Yeah,
right?
whatever. Well, generations are wrong.
You can go and if you get this service, you can then go see the older 80s Saturday Night Live.
I'm good.
You good? You're trying to quit?
Yeah, I'm
what
good.
about all the late night offerings like Late Night with Seth Meyers
Who
or the
cares?
Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
My God, who cares?
Well, here's the upside, Dave.
Okay.
Is that it's initially going to be free.
What?
Yeah, you'll be able to see about 7,500 hours of on-demand programming.
Oh my God! It's all old TV show and old current event TV shows. So like, I'm really going to want to go back and watch like when Ray or whatever her real name is came to the Jimmy Fallon show and talked about the rise of Skywalker. Who wants to go back and watch that crap? Nobody. No, but that's who. I'll answer for you.
Well,
see,
but like I'm saying, it's free. You can tune
it's
in.
Free. So if there's nothing else around, you can watch it. There's lots of other offerings, Brian. Why the hell are they paying you?
They're not paying.
Is NBC paying you right now?
No.
You seem very excited. You seem like you're endorsing this product.
No,
something.
I'm just excited to see how worked up you're going to get about it.
Great.
Although NBCU unveiled original programming for Peacock to lure subscribers in.
Yeah, just like all the stuff for Apple Plus. People are just tripping over themselves to watch some of these craptastic movies and shows they've got.
There's a deeper library of 15,000 hours of content for a mere $4.99 a month, Dave.
What is said content?
It's stuff in the NBC vault. That's 15,000 hours is a lot of stuff. I mean, I listed some of the things off. Let's see. Movies from Lionsgate.
Oh, my God.
There's some acquisitions from non-NBCU shows
Did
like
you
Two and a
like
Half
Chuck
Men.
Norris? All the listings of Golden Globus is now available to you.
Right.
With the Peacock.
And then, of course, you can get those without ads for a mere $9.99 if you want it.
Oh, my God. Just shoot me now.
Yeah, well, hey, look, that's the price of choice, Dave.
Yeah. Great.
I mean, why pay $80 to $100 in a cable subscription when you can merely pay $4.99 to get all your NBC content that you need?
Here's the question. Are you getting it, Mr. Held?
Well, I mean, there's a free option. I'll probably at least take a look at it.
Do you still have CBS All Access?
No.
Right, and Picard starts on Thursday. See, I have been squirreling away my free month of subscriptions so that eventually when Star Trek, the STD dies, I can go watch that, and then I'll watch Picard, and then I'll be done.
Honestly,
I won't pay them a damn cent.
I've been bouncing between services, like re-engaging them and canceling them. It's as I want to see stuff.
Like the old long-distance programs you used to be able to do in the 90s? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man, that was such a pain to keep up with, too.
As soon as they start offering us money, then I'm in. If they say, like, hey, well, if you want the new service, we'll give you $5 for it. Because I used to be able to eat Taco Bell for like a week from changing, long-distance providers. It was great. Heady times.
Did you want to talk about this trailer with Daniel Radcliffe?
I did. All right. I don't know what it is about him, but it took a while for him to shake the whole Harry Potter thing. Okay. But he has done a bunch of movies where, he's been like sort of a bad guy, but he's more of a sympathetic character. And this new movie, Guns Akimbo, is awesome. Here, listen to the trailer.
Someone's trying to kill me! Please, go drive now! I'm Miles. And this is the story of the worst day of my life.
Another schism.
Schism picked random psychos, weirdos, and criminals and made them fight each other to the death. So the internet loved it. And then I came into the picture.
You scared yet?
Welcome to Schism.
This poor guy.
They bolted these things to my hands.
Stupid.
They have my girlfriend. And some psycho is trying to kill me. I'm not a fighter. I'm a nobody. Hey, I need help.
Oh, it's one thing to say you can't face violence, but when it faces you, you better be ready. When the goes down, you better be ready.
This guy. He's the rock guy from Thor.
Yeah. Nice.
Schism said they would wipe my slate tape.
No, Schism is gonna kill us both. No! I have a plan. It is totally suicidal, but it might work. Get out of the car, please. Come on. Please get out. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's like Edward Scissorhands with guns because they're bolted to his hands, so he can't drive, he can't open doors. So half the movie is probably going to be him, the physical comedy, trying to put his pants on, and
Right.
I got to go pee. Well, don't shoot it.
Oh, jeez.
So, all right.
I was trying to look and see if it was based on something like a comic book or something.
No, I don't think so. It's like new stuff.
That's cool.
So, but it's funny because Daniel Radcliffe, I mean, it's like he's finally shaken that whole Harry Potter thing that's been haunting him his whole life. Because, I mean, he's done a bunch of stuff, but it's always kind of been, I don't know, you see him on the screen, it's like, hey, that's Harry Potter. This kind of reminds me of the movie that had Angelina Jolie and the dude from, Xavier from... the new X-Men movies, Professor Xavier. What's his damn name? It was like called Killers or something like that, where they were all trying to kill him, and or his dad was trying. It was weird. Where it's like just an office schmuck who gets drug into a life of excitement and danger.
No, that was Wanted.
Wanted, thank you.
Yes, which was based off of a comic book, and the comic book is far and above better than the movie.
That movie was a travesty.
Yeah.
It was a travesty.
Yeah, it's sad because it's like it basically took just like a whiff of the plot of the comic and made it into a movie.
Right.
So, yeah.
So this looks like it's going to be a lot more fun. It's the first thing that comes to mind is like how does he shoot with it bolted to his hands though too? It's like it just.
How does he reload?
Well, and how does he not in constant agony and pain? I mean, it's like apparently they knocked him out and then bolted him in. So it's like go fight. It's like I can't move my hands.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, I guess we'll have to see when he comes out.
Maybe he's like Inspector Gadget or something.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. All right, guys. When we get back, we'll have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Inspector
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today. Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Q's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Follow them on Twitter at Twig Radio. Do it now.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian, the voice guy stole my freaking line, man. So
Did he?
Well, yeah, he said you're your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. So now what am I supposed to say? All right, well, it's Skungy's turn. There we go.
All right.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
You might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
What's going on, gentlemen? How are y'all on this fine evening?
We are super fantastic because we're not watching the Green Bay Packers get their asses handed to them.
I mean, legitimately. I mean,
I know it's
games
embarrassing.
Are one-sided.
I know. All right, so let's talk nerd stuff now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brian was all uncomfortable. Ugh, sports ball.
Yeah, he's sports ball.
No, Dave, I told you earlier before the show that Drew Brees' birthday was on the 15th.
Drew Brees is dead to me.
Okay, that's fine. See, I gave you some sports
My
ball
Super
thing.
Bowl was on Monday.
Yep.
All right, there you go. All right, what are we talking about, Skungy?
We're talking about a board game this week, and we're talking about Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Oh, tell me about it, dude. Like it's expensive though, right? Like kind of, sort of, but you get
actually the price has actually gone down a little bit because it has been out for a couple of years. All right,
and you get little little toys to play with too, right? With it.
So you get miniatures.
Oh,
yeah.
miniatures. Oh, okay. I've toys, whatever.
Yeah, they are toys. I mean, you get to play around with them and whatnot. They're fun.
Pew, pew. If you don't say pew pew while you're playing this game, there's something wrong with you.
I've said pew pew while playing.
Dave, miniature wargaming is a very serious endeavor.
If
all
it's
right.
Warhammer, unless you're playing orcs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this isn't Warhammer. This is something a lot lighter. So what Imperial Assault is, it's the best way to describe it, it's kind of like a dungeon crawl type of game.
Okay.
It's a campaign. Well, it does come with two parts. They do have a skirmish mode on it where you can play 1 versus 1. And you've got some dudes, and I got some dudes, and we're just going to fight on this map.
Okay,
which
so
is
that's
a really cool mode.
They should call it the pew pew mode,
just for the hell of it.
So I mean, that's essentially
pew pew mode.
that's the classical wargaming mode of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have that in it, and it's a great mode. But the meat and potatoes of this game is the campaign. There is a campaign mode in it where you're going to play. Now they've changed it up a little bit because there's an app now that you can play it solo. I really don't suggest that because I like playing solo games, but I don't suggest it because the app is a little bit wonky.
Okay.
The way this game's meant to be played is up to 4 people play Rebels and 1 person plays the Empire.
Right. Okay.
Well, that
so it's
sucks.
a 1 versus many. And you go through many different scenarios on a whole, story set during the time of the rebellion.
So clearly,
So
Dave, it doesn't suck, right? I mean, the guy playing the Empire is essentially like a dungeon master, right? Clearly, the Empire is too powerful to be just wielded haphazardly by a whole bunch of players.
Now you're speaking my language, Brian.
All
Good
right.
on. All right, I'm sold.
Okay.
I'm in.
That's true. I mean, basically the Empire, the player playing the Empire is the dungeon master. They have a campaign book that they look it up. They set up the board. They're going to, and it's a very narrative. Like you start where you have, all right, I've got this door right here, and you open up the door, and they're like, all right, you opened up this door, and you see, a
Rancor beast,
an army of stormtroopers or whatever. And the Empire player has the choice of how to activate their units. They get development points that they can put more units out or use it for other things. And it's strictly like a campaign. You're going to go through and you're going to level up your characters and get more items and more experience. And it's really cool for each member of the party, kind of like when you're sitting there and playing a tabletop. Like this game is going to be about this character, and we're going to go get them a lightsaber. That's what this entire thing is, trying to get them a lightsaber, or we want to get him a really cool blaster, or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm digging it.
One of the most satisfying parts is when I was playing it. I was playing the Empire player. I played through the entire campaign of this, and they opened up a door, and I'm like, all right, you're in a hangar, and I got to pull out an AT-ST miniature, not really a miniature, and drop it on the board, and everybody just went, crap.
Nice. I'm still trying to work my head through. I think it's kind of cool, right, that the Empire player is essentially the dungeon master, right?
Because they rule the galaxy.
Well, much like the Empire brings order and rule to the galaxy, the dungeon master is bringing order and rule to the game table.
Because if you have chaos, then you would just have rebels and rebellion.
Exactly.
It's horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible.
Filthy rebels.
Right.
Filthy rebels. Now, like I said, this game does have a solo mode. There's an app that you can download absolutely free, and it will not only teach you the game, but you'll go through different scenarios and whatnot. Now, there's actually a solo variant that you can download from the internet, and that one I actually suggest better, but it's going to cost you a little bit to get all the cards put out because you literally have to get automated cards to play for the Empire. You're still going to play the Rebels.
Yeah.
And it just works the Empire itself.
Now, this is a Fantasy Flight game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is Fantasy Flight, which means there's 1 million expansions.
Okay.
That's fine. At least it's not like, if you want to play the game, wait until we make these expansions and then you can play the game. It's not like DLC. It's like, here's actual extra new content on top of a fully fleshed out game that we've already created for you.
Yeah, like I said, I played through the base game.
Right.
And it was like 12 gaming sessions or so, 12 or 13 gaming sessions just going through the base game.
Wow.
All right. Now, there are 2 types of expansions. You can buy big box expansions, or they have miniatures that you can buy. For instance, you can buy Chewbacca's miniature, and it comes with a mission for Chewbacca, and it comes with a new skirmish map and cards for the skirmish mode as well. So you can use them as an ally and whatnot. Now, you can't use them as, like, the players that you're playing. Those are strictly different than the miniatures that you buy. But those cost about between $10 and $15.
Okay.
So that gets you that content. Then they have the big box expansions. The big box expansions, like the first one, there's one that's called like Twin Shadows, which is set in Tatooine, and you have like Boba Fett and going on missions with that. You could play that separately, or you can do a whole separate campaign with that, and that's got like I think 5 or 6 games on that in the expansions, and there's like 6 big box expansions for it.
Oh, geez.
And those run about between 40 and 50 for those.
Okay.
The good thing is that this game is still readily available.
Right.
A lot of times with board games, after it comes out, it gets harder and harder to find. This one, it's not. It's really easy to find.
So I do know that when it initially released, that there was some problems getting product out to shops, and I'm guessing that's been worked out. That everything, including all the expansion and extra materials, are all easily available.
So, like I said, the base game is readily available. You can find the base game Amazon, wherever. You know, you can go to your local game shop, and you can do that as well. Most of the big box expansions are pretty easy to find. I think the Return to Hoth is probably the hardest one to find. You might have to pay. That one goes for like $60 because it's a little bit harder to find.
All right.
Other than that, the miniatures themselves, that's where you're going to come into a little bit. Those might be a little bit harder to find. Some of them, yes, but like some of the more popular ones, that like the Grand Admiral Thrawn. There's a Thrawn.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one. Yeah, the Tyrants of Lothal. I'm sorry. While you've been talking, I've been looking at my phone because I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about it. I just, I'm glad you're doing this because I've been wanting to talk about this game and just kind of get an explanation about it because it was sticker shock. I mean, I know everybody knows I'm cheap, but I mean, this is a big investment, though. I mean, and it's not me just being typically cheap. I mean, I want it, but
Now hold on a second. So, Skungy, we've kind of belabored it. What is the base game? What's the cost on the base game?
So it depends on where you go. I mean, if you're the thrifty shopper, it's anywhere between 60 and 80 normally.
Okay, so let's just say, because I did some simple math, right? And you mentioned that it took about 12 sessions to get through the campaign for that first base set, right?
Yes.
That works out to about $6 a session. That's not bad, Dave. Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about entertainment,
yeah.
Because I'm still blown away that it. I tried to buy a pair of tickets to see a movie the other day at the Dolby Theater, and it was almost $50.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So
and this game is so high quality. It's so well made. It's actually, there was a game that came out by Fantasy Flight called Descent.
Okay.
That was made years before. This took that system and kind of perfected it.
Oh,
I had so much fun. I lost. I played the Empire, and it's also kind of a give and take. You don't want to, when you're playing it, it's kind of like when you're being a dungeon master. You don't want to be too hard because you want the other players to succeed, but you want to make it challenging for them.
Do you?
So
do you really?
I won only, as the Empire, I only won one session. And depending on how you win, if they win or they lose, it determines what the next mission is going to be.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's not predetermined, and it's not going from point A to point B. No, when you play the game, it's like you start out at A, but you can end up at Z. I mean, end up at like L or something. Far from where the original ending was going to be.
Nice. All right. So what is? All right. You said you mentioned the app. So like I'm looking. It says Star Wars Imperial Assault: Legends of the Alliance. The app is that a standalone game for the phone, or is that it's in conjunction with the game as well?
It's in conjunction with the game. So you still need the game to use that app.
Okay.
What that app is going to do, it's going to act as the Empire player. So it's going to tell you, hey, you need to put these tiles out. You need
cool.
to.
So it's like the GM. My phone becomes the GM.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn smart.
You can play it that way, and then so it's like open a door. They're like, all right, grab this out of the box and put it on this tile. It's like, and it automates everything, and it's a really cool app. But like I said, they kind of do things a little weird. Like, for instance, you're in on a spaceship in one of the scenarios, and you open up a door and a Wampa's there.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe
thematically, it doesn't make sense.
No, because it was a big game hunter, and he was capturing a live specimen to bring to sale at market. Come on, man, use your damn imagination, Skungy. Jeez.
Now,
but it's still really cool that you can play by yourself. And like I said, there's also, or you can have 4 players because sometimes nobody wants to be the bad guy.
What friends do you? All your friends want to be the bad guy.
So
silly.
But, maybe they don't want to play against each other.
Maybe there's a bunch of paladins that are all like Brian.
Oh, geez. Now, here's something cool to think about, right? Now, Fantasy Flight also makes 2 other games related to Star Wars, and it's the X-Wing game, which is...
And what, Armada?
And Armada. Yeah. So X-Wing is...
And no, there's more than that, guys.
Okay.
There's a Legion, too, huh?
Well, give me a second.
There's Rebellion.
Okay, so X-Wing is starfighter combat. Armada is... like Star Destroyer level combat.
Yeah, like fleet.
The fleet combat. And then what's Rebellion?
Rebellion is Star Wars in a box. That game is absolutely amazing. But the problem is it plays like 3 hours for one game, like 3.5 hours. That is Star Wars in a box. So you go, one person's the Empire, one person's the Rebellion, and you are just trying to the Empire's trying to find the rebellion, and you can use the Death Star. And like when I played the Empire, and I blew up Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Star Wars at like a galaxy sort of level, right?
If anybody's ever played the game War of the Ring,
oh yeah.
Or it's very similar to War of the Ring. War of the Ring is Lord of the Rings in a box. It's very similar to that.
So here's what I'm saying, Dave. If you really want to get crazy with it, right, is you set up 3 tables, right, and it's like you have the Armada level, right, the fleet level, and then you're playing there, and then like you focus in on something, and it's okay. Let's do starship combat or starfighters, right, and then you have that table for that, and then it's okay. Now we're over this planet, so now we have the war game, and then you have that. Like you have that all going at the same time.
I have the revised core rule book from not Fantasy Flight, from Wizards of the Coast, which is basically D&D Star Wars. So I've already made characters for that with my kids. So
all right, so
I'll do that. Then we'll. All right, now this has gotten deep, man.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there.
The third hole has gone very deep on this one.
Well, no, Skungy, you're saying like 3 hours. I mean, come on, dude. We've all played Shogun. You know, we've played Risk, Monopoly. Who plays Monopoly anymore? Because those are
I know. I remember
eons.
Shogun. That game never ended.
It never did. Shogun was awesome.
No, I think about
I
it.
Still have it.
I think about it because I've always wanted to do where Avalon Hill released a game, War of the Roses. Way back, the
I remember the Avalon Hill games. Yeah,
and Lancaster versus York, right? And you've got this whole map of England, and it's all like little cardboard chits, right? But you could blow that map up, put it on a wall, and use little pins to track your army movements. And then when 2 armies come together, then you go to a table and fight it out with a miniature war game. And then the results of that determines the results of what happens on the map. That would be cool. Then you can make it a campaign and play it over like a year.
Did we just come up with a convention idea or something, like a 1-day wargaming convention?
You could probably do that.
I mean, you'd have to only do things like that, like the out of the box kind of games, like when you have like Emperor matches of like Magic the Gathering and things like that. Things you wouldn't normally be able to do at home with 2 or 3 friends.
Right. My favorite convention war game is actually Circus Maximus. Right.
Oh, yeah.
That is such a cool game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a track that's 10 feet long. The Roman Coliseum.
Awesome,
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
So we would have to host this at Nerdlandia.
They have a smaller one.
Nerdlandia.
Yeah, they're well.
Nerdlandia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we have to get to a break.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. All right.
So once again, I guess I would normally say price and platform, but I mean, we can pretty much get this anywhere. Even local game shops still have these.
Yeah, local game shops have it and everything, and they have, like I said, all the expansions. A couple of them are harder to find, but for the most part, it's very readily available and just such a great time.
Yep. Support your friendly local game shop, people. It's definitely where to go. All right, well, thanks, Skungy. That was kind of cool. We should not fire Skungy.
All right, fine. You're not fired.
Cool.
Yes.
Enough people have been fired this week.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Thanks, Skungy. We'll talk to you next week. Guys, stay tuned. Guys. When we get back, we're going to close it all out with This Week in Geek History. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Welcome back into the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio. That's a lot of T's. And, of course, the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
My mama said if you don't have anything witty to say, don't say anything at all.
That's fair. Before I get into history, I just want to mention real quick, Giovanni, or at MLC_Storm Chaser on Twitter, posted a picture of us. He saw us at Wizard World.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was super cool while we were doing the interview with Matt Ryan from Constantine. So, yes.
Score.
All right, first item on my list is an ancient one. January 13th.
1983.
No, January 13th, 1404. The English Parliament passes the Act of Multipliers, forbidding alchemists from using transmutation to create or multiply precious metals, specifically gold and silver.
Because it would throw the whole economy in a tizzy, don't you know?
Yeah, I mean, they feared that alchemists would succeed in their projects and ruin the nation or install a despot.
That is awesome that
Yes.
they passed legislation for made-up science.
Of course.
Right.
Yes, this one's going to be terrible. January 14th, 2005. The spin-off of the 2003 Daredevil film starring Jennifer Garner is released. Elektra.
Oh,
yes.
God, was that bad.
Yeah, and, I put this in here because we really haven't heard much about Daredevil and, all the Defenders and stuff.
Out of all of them, the Daredevil was the best. I mean, the fighting scenes in that were just so gritty and nasty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just awesome. I mean, it was like watching a real fight. If you and I, we've been in a bar fight. We know.
We have, yes. So hopefully something will come out soon on that. All right, next item on my list, January 15th, 2001. The Birth of All Truth on the Internet by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger is Wikipedia is launched.
I have no idea who made Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They're probably Canadian, though.
Maybe. I don't know. All right. January 16th, 1995. Sees the premiere of Star Trek Voyager, otherwise known as the 7 of 9 show.
Look, honestly, I always kind of poo-poo on Star Trek Enterprise. It's been a long
Yeah.
it's kind of grown on me. H&I is this little rinky-dink cable channel.
Yeah.
And plays all 5 of all the Star Trek series back to back to back.
Right.
And Enterprise, I know it's grown on me. Scott Bakula, he's kind of grown on me.
Honestly, I liked Enterprise when it came out.
They had a few turds, but I mean,
Yeah.
all Star Treks had a bunch of turds.
I mean,
But Deep Space Nine is probably the best, no doubt.
I was still disappointed that Enterprise was a prequel. I really wish they would have took that time
Kept
to
going?
keep going forward.
I think at some point CBS had a plan of trying to continue things, and then they just, as always, just roll over in leadership, and then whatever plans they have go down the toilet.
Are you summoning up the hope that I had at the beginning of the show? Because that's what I'm hearing.
No, there's no. You have no hope. Abandon all hope, ye who pass through here.
All right, so a couple of birthdays real quick. 13th, Orlando Bloom. On the 14th, Grant Gustin. He was in
that's the
Barry
Flash.
Allen. Yes.
Yeah. he's the Flash.
On the 16th, director John Carpenter. On the 17th, the voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. And on the 18th, Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. The holidays have really cramped my style booking guests. I'm trying to work on that continuously, but we do have interview stuff that's on Facebook.com if you want to check it out from this past weekend. So there we go.
Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
NOLA's home for Fox News Radio and the Weather Channel. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.